fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight, your host of Eagles Talk. Welcome, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook that's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. Now, as always, we start off with what you can do. Everybody has a job here. This is an interactive show. We, the hosts, we do our job, and you, the audience, you do yours. And let me tell you what a wonderful job you've been doing. Thank you for watching and supporting the show as you do. We appreciate it. Now, first things first, make sure you share the show. Share it on your Facebook page as well as your other social media sites, Instagram, Twitter, anywhere and everywhere. And when you mention our show, make sure to throw in the hashtag Eagles Talk. Second, if you're watching and have not yet gone to our Facebook page and liked or follow our page, do so now. In addition, Eagles Talk is now a podcast found in the iTunes and on the iOS platform as well as on the Android platforms with various podcast apps. So just choose your favorite podcast player and search Eagles Talk. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and stay up to date with our latest episodes. Again, we thank you. Guys, you know the regular routine here. If you're new here, we toast, we enjoy, we talk about our Eagles, and we enjoy it with our favorite adult beverage. So before every quarter, before every talking point, we have a toast, or AKA we do shots. Okay, so that's it. All the regulars know this, and they usually have their toast of choice on hand. Without further ado, let me bring on my co-host, and that will be one Patrick Sandlin, one half of the Sandlin boys. The other Sandlin boy is on his way. What's up, Pat?
Yeah, what's up, Dante? What's going on, everybody?
What's going on? Big news, man. Big news. You know what it's hitting for. It's just broke yesterday. We have a lot of things to talk about, not only concerning that, we also have the excitement of our I know this is Eagles Talk. I know it is, but in the off season sometimes it gets slow. So we spread the love around, and we're going to talk about our beloved Philadelphia 76ers also, who have done very well in the first game of the playoff series. They played on Saturday, and they will resume tonight. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But the big news is Daryl Worley, he gets arrested. So let's do this. Let's start this thing off. Again, you are listening to Eagles Talk, the podcast by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. So I'm getting the feedback.
I'm sorry about that.
All right. So what are you doing this week, Pat?
I'm doing something special because last week was a bunch of fruity stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God. Let me not even discuss.
What up, Joe?
Shell guns. All right. Let me put some comments up there while you explain what you're doing.
I'm doing something that is reminiscent back to when we first started doing this here, and I had a little Brian Dawkins thing back there. It has a little fruit in it, but it's not fruity whatsoever. I got me some watermelon apple corn.
Okay, I'm about to say that's the only thing. I would disqualify you, but that's the only thing that saved you was the corn at the end of it. Because he started off with, I'm like, he's back to this fruity stuff. Come on, when we going to man up?
No, I was at my brother's house yesterday, Paris. Shout out to Paris. His wife's sister became a Delta yesterday, and I saw this sitting on his shelf down there. I said, let me grab that. So,
well, welcome to the Greek family. I forget her name. What's her name?
Dominique James.
Dominique James. Welcome to the Greek family. Delta Sigma Theta. My wife is also a member of there, and then the whole family. We seem to be going that way. Crimson and cream. Crimson and cream. So that's what's up. Congratulations to her. She'll never forget. Where's who?
What's PJ?
PJ. I don't know. PJ. What's PJ? Oh, Christopher Burton. Let me get some comments before we go in the shot. Yeah. Christopher Burton, our admin for our Facebook group. Burton has been doing a great job. Chris, we got to talk about this this cigar group you put me in there. I went by there, and wow, it's just a lot of things going on in here. and you know what I'm talking about. I don't know if you he probably added you too, but Chris,
I'm not there yet.
Oh my goodness, Chris, you have not put Pat in this cigar group, the SATC. That's all I'm gonna say. But wow, what a group. You gotta get in this group. This is for adults only. Let me put it there. Let me just bring it there. And when you're in that group, make sure you bring along your adult beverage, because a lot of adult things are being said in this group. But anyway, I don't even think I should be in this group anymore. But so anyway, we
can't speak no more of that group.
We try to keep this as family as you can get with us doing adult beverages. But anyway, I'm continuing with the Remy Martin 1738. So we're going to get right here. We're going to toast to the first topic and toast to my man Daryl Worley, because he is out of here.
I got give me a second. This lid is it's been sitting for a little bit.
All right. Okay. All right. So first quarter shots up there. Look. Oh, Christopher Burton says the drink you never had, PJ. That's what PJ is. All right. Shayne Dawson says, hell yeah. Yes. So he's down with the shots. He's ready to do the shots. So soon as Pat can, that's some crown. That's some real hooch, some real moonshine from that. You got to pry the lid off of this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
You got to literally pry the lid off of this stuff. That's really all right. Eddy says tequila. Here we go. Yeah, everybody out there, let me know what you guys are doing. Eddy's doing tequila. So here we go. All right, Pat's ready. All right, yes, let's count it down. 1, 2, 3. Boom.
Boom.
All right. That is a toast to my man, Daryl Worley, because he's out of here. He is out of here, as you have probably heard within the last 24 hours. This was all over the news. Yesterday, Daryl Worley was arrested and released by the Eagles in less than 24 hours, all in one shot there. And what do you have to say, Pat? I have my opinion, but I'm going to go to you first. What do you have to say about that?
Listen, man, you're a professional player. Anytime that you're a professional player, you should not put yourself in that situation. If you're intoxicated, whatever you're intoxicated with, you need to be responsible enough to make a phone call to get a taxi. The owners even set up a taxi service for all their players. Now, what he was on, I have no clue yet. But it makes no sense. I have a lot to say. But this but the moonshine is going down is kind of getting me hot right now. My thing is, listen, like I said,
on fire.
You're a pro football player, professional player, period. Owners play for a taxi service for all players if they're intoxicated, they can call the service. It's free of charge because they're a player on the team, and they can use the service to get them home. Like, there's no reason you should be passed out in the middle of an intersection with an unregistered weapon on you. Not in this climate, not in this day and age. And at that, you had to get tasered. You had to get tasered because you was not cooperating with the police. Like, for all what you could have done for this team, it's all thrown out the window because of the mistakes that you're making.
Oh my God! What he was he was passed out in his car
in an intersection,
in an intersection, blocking the highway down at Broad Patterson. There's a lot of things here that went wrong, drastically wrong here. He was basically outside of his job. He works at Broad Patterson. He was passed out outside of his job. How many? Let's look at this as real people here. Let's look at this. Pat, what would happen to you? What I could only imagine what would happen to me outside. The police come and find me across the street from my job, passed out in the car. Not a good look. And then when they wake me up, I attack the police to the point where I have to be tased. Upon me being tased, they discover that I have an unregistered or a non-licensed weapon in the car.
Mm-hmm.
That was not good. It was not good. The only the only reaction that the Eagles could take was the right one. They had to release this guy. They had to let him go because of his own. It was for his own good. It's for his own good. I know there's a lot of talk, and you guys can comment on it, of how do you treat Daryl Worley different than Michael Bennett? I mean, he was arrested, right? So what's the difference here? Number one, well, we know the obvious. Number one, he's more valuable. Michael Bennett is higher up on the food chain. That's number one. Number two, it was not of this magnitude. Michael Bennett didn't have a weapon. He was not intoxicated, passed out. Not only could he hurt himself, he could have hurt someone else. And when it's going that far, when your blatant disregard for your job and your career has gone that far, where you're passed out in front of your work location with an unregistered weapon, you need a serious wake-up call.
Yeah.
So not only is this for the Eagles' sake, I know it's good PR for them. They can't have this guy on the roster. Doesn't look good for the team, but this is also good for him because he needs a wake-up call. He definitely needs a wake-up call, and not letting him and not allowing him back into the building, back into the fold so quickly may be what he needs. This is a slap in the face. It's cold water, a cold water shower, so to speak. Hopefully this will wake him up so he can get his life together, because he obviously has some issues going on. If you can have just blatant disregard for your job and your career till you find, where you find yourself passed out across the street from your job. So I'm going to go to a couple comments here. Christopher Burton says, that's crazy. Eddie says, ridiculous. Seriously. Christopher Burton also said he had a shot of Paul Masson. All right. All right. Yeah, Christopher Burton said he needs some help. Definitely needs some help. Shayne, Dawson, CJ Anderson. Oh, he got released. Yeah, I did hear that. We'll talk about that. Eddie says Michael Bennett, the difference also is Michael Bennett cooperated, but also there's no clear evidence. Yeah, there's Michael Bennett's case is up in the air. There's some question there on whether he actually did commit a crime, but the Daryl Worley thing, he definitely committed a crime. So yeah, that's a big difference there. Brian Smith says Bennett was accused, not proven guilty. Worley was caught doing what he was doing. Big difference. It sucks, but it is what it is. You're right, Brian. So that is what it needed to be. Do people deserve a second chance? Yes, he does deserve a second chance. But down the line, first, see about yourself. Get yourself together. Get yourself some help, because you definitely need some help. And then maybe when you have proven that you have gotten that help, you can do a what's my man name? A Johnny Manziel. You know what I'm saying? And maybe
go to the spring league.
Yeah, go to the spring league. But right now, he just needs some help, because it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was like, what? I thought it wasn't real. I mean, not to say that it was real, but I mean, I thought it wasn't real. I thought somebody was playing around, said Daryl Worley might be released. I'm like, why he's gonna get released? What did he do? And once everything started coming out during the course of the day, I said, yep, he's getting released.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The way the NFL is set up right now is it's not for players to make mistakes like this. You have to be on your P's and Q's, especially with these pro football teams, especially in this climate with guns, and to not be on your A game away from the facility when you got 3 days before you actually report to the facility for the off-season program. I mean, you're doing yourself harm, and you're doing the team no good. So I really hope he does get the help that is needed, and take steps to get back into the league, because he did have really a decent season last year as a rookie.
All right, let me go to some more comments. Dion Brown, we have depth and corner anyway, so we're good. Yeah, and when you think about it like that, we didn't give up much to get him. We traded away Torrey Smith, who we were probably going to release anyway. So it was a plus that we got something in return for him, but there's no big loss here. He wasn't making a lot of money, only $670,000 this year. So it wasn't a big hit on the books or anything like that. We took a chance. And the way I read it is, as quick as they cut him, I think they knew that he had some issues. I think that coming in, they understood that he had some issues. Why else was Carolina giving up on such a young corner? Not to say he was an all-pro, but he has some talent, but they were giving up on him so quickly. So there had to be something there. And I think that the team knew about that. And they probably sat him down and had a talk, said, look, are you going to be okay? We're going to take a chance on you. And he probably assured them, of course, that everything was going to be all right. And then I'm assuming probably assured them that everything was going to be all right. And then bang, this happens. And they were like, okay, no, we can't do it. We can't do it. Yeah. You know, we have to cut our ties now and cut them early. And I don't blame them. Let me go to some comments. Eddie, Len Hadley says, throw your career away for what? Exactly. For what? Mm-hmm. Eddy Alfonzo says, Madea need to go visit Worley. Madea needs to go visit Worley. That's funny. Kawan Page, his problem bigger than football. Kawan, I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name. Brian Smith says, reminds me a little bit of Josh Huff's situation. Yeah, really, it does. Yeah, same type of situation. Tyrone Joyner, they did the right thing. We just won our first Super Bowl. We don't need any off-season problems. Hashtag fly Eagles fly. You're right. And they did the right thing. They didn't waste any time. You want a little, you like a guy with a little attitude, a little edge, but and not that. That's a little bit much.
The thing about it is that, you know, he's from the area. He went to Penn Charter, played at, I believe it was West Virginia. He's a local kid. So if you don't call it a friend to come pick you up or something like that, it is a bigger issue than, you know, just football. It's a social issue that you have to you know, you have to hit the nail on the you have to put the hammer on the nail right from the beginning. And the thing about it is that, you know, he could have been a replacement for so much things that we can use, a third safety. But it's like I said, it's much bigger than the game of football right now. You know, it's your life. It's what you want to do with your life. And if you do get reinstated, you do go back to another team, which might not happen this year because of your legal issues. You might have to sit out for at least 4 to 6 games because of how the league is structured now. So that might be a different issue all in itself.
Yeah, let me put Deion Brown's point up here. Messed up part about it, he's born and raised here in Philly. He could have handled it much better, and that may have been his downfall. The fact that he was coming home. A lot of people, you know, I mean, he was born and raised around Broad and Erie. We know where that's at. That's around the way. You know, that's not main line. Let's just, for all our Eagles fans out there that do not reside in the city. I was born and raised there, and let's be point blank. That's the hood. That's the hood. Not saying, you know, not making an assumption about them, but it's tough for some people to come back to the inner city where they were born and raised around their friends or the crowd, and are able to separate themselves from that crowd and that environment. And I don't know what happened. I just don't know what happened in this case, but I do know what the results were, and that was him being found yesterday. So whatever it takes for him to get himself together, I hope that he does that. And again, it's not always a good thing to come back home when you have so many things around you that could sway you to go the wrong way. That is a messed up part of it. Sergi Bareg, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Good to see you. Glad you're back. Eagles play no games, and this is an example. You're right about that. They sent the message, and that's the end of the first quarter there. So, whoa. All right, cancel. Okay, all right, there you go. All right,